Hey, it's Josh, and you're listening to The Other Show. Okay, so I really need to stop going to bed like eating a bowl of shredded wheat because
Specifically shredded wheat.
yes, because
A bowl of something else would be fine.
I had the strangest dream the other night.
I'm gonna do shredded wheat,
and I don't know where it came from. No, shredded wheat is not a euphemism, Spencer. We're gonna stay.
No. I know it's not.
Oh, okay.
I want to do shredded
as bland as
wheat.
You could be. Wheat?
But no, if we dried up the cannabis and then we shredded it, like shredded wheat, like an edible in a bowl.
Nope.
No,
it's a bad idea.
That's how you end up on a list. But
Josh,
anyway,
you're not eating frosted?
No, well, sometimes. I mean, I'll throw in a few, but it's mainly shredded wheat. You know,
wow.
I love with shredded wheat. Like if you don't use the frosted, you go ahead and just add a cup of sugar anyway.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you got to stay regular. But anyway, I really need to stop doing that though before I go to bed, because the dream I had the other night, I don't know where it came from other than the shredded wheat, but it was a dream, and it was kind of a combination, I guess, of a couple of our past bonus episodes on Patreon. It was the Singles Ward as played by the Muppets.
Oh, I totally see that.
Right? So the bishop in this Singles Ward was Kirby Heyborne.
The bishop?
And everybody else, yeah. I think part of that was I was listening to a podcast and they were interviewing or talking about Kirby Heyborne, and he's a bishop now. And so I think I got that stuck in my head.
It could be a sequel. It's fine.
In the reboot.
Yeah, it should be. It should be a sequel within the whole universe of the two other Singles Wards, really. I mean, it could be just a fever dream. But he was the bishop. Then the love interest, I mean, obviously, Kermit and Miss Piggy. I mean, natural,
sure.
Right?
Yeah.
But then Fozzie is that one guy in every young single adult ward who's over 30, has been there forever. Nobody can get rid of him, right? You know, just how Fozzie is, personality to a T.
He's Therm. Okay, Therm-wise guy.
Yes.
I get you.
And then the Elders Quorum president, who kind of keeps everything, I guess, in check, is Sam the Eagle. And then the pianist was Ralph.
Okay,
natural,
of course.
Right? The Relief Society president was Janice. Perfect.
Okay, hold on. Are you just casting a movie here, or this is your dream?
Part of the dream. This was part of the dream. And I actually woke up and
were you sitting amongst the congregation, or were you like a fly on the wall?
Kind of
a fly on the wall,
a Muppet fly on the wall. So yeah, I was just following. I actually wrote down the dream when I woke up. I'm like, maybe there's a message from God about this, you know. But I mean, it was a wild dream. Like Statler and Ward's, I can never say their names.
Waldorf,
Waldorf were the counselors in the bishopric. Animal was, being Animal, chasing all the women. Mm-hmm. You know, obviously, I mean, there's always that one person.
The most Josh dream ever. And
then Gonzo and Camilla were there, and they were dating. It just, I don't know. I'm like, I want to make this movie now.
I love it's like, what was the inspiration for this amazing $1 billion movie, Josh? I had a dream, and also there's this little known LDS film, and it all started with shredded wheat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll be completely honest. If it wasn't for Inside Out 2, this probably would actually break Disney box office records this year.
Yeah, right? Yeah, by the way, what's up with Inside Out 2 doing so well?
I have my theories. It's the first true family movie to come out this year. I went back. The only other animated movie.
Look, I'm not going to say Garfield is going to be a surefire
that's
hit.
What I was saying. It's that's the only other family movie, and
Kung Fu Panda.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is that already out?
But it did fine. Yeah, Kung Fu Panda 4 came out 2 months ago. It did okay. But no movies have really done great this year. To the point where the director of Dune 2, Denis Villeneuve, he was disappointed because that came out in February, right? Mm-hmm. He was, and that's the highest grossing movie so far up until probably Inside Out 2. and he was like, I'm really disappointed that summer hasn't been better. Like, I want movies to make more money than Dune 2.
Yeah.
Because nothing is.
How much money are they bringing in?
Oh, Inside Out 2?
That they got 150 million just over the weekend.
Yeah, and globally, it's closer to 300 at this point.
Wow. And it's only been out for how long?
One weekend.
A weekend.
Holy cow.
I have a feeling this will probably surpass the original as far as money because, I mean, like Spencer, like you're saying, are people starved for like a quality family movie at this point?
Well, and ironically, how much of it is the nostalgia draw?
Yeah.
Because, that was the crux of the original, is holding on to your childhood memories.
Yeah.
I mean, the original Inside Out came out how long ago? 10 years ago?
Yeah, 2016.
Oh my gosh, it's been almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So now a lot of those kids that watched and like it yanked at your heartstrings have kids of their own. They're going to take their kids to see this. How much of that is pulling people in? And the fact that it is the first true family film that doesn't have Chris Pratt in it.
People who went as kids now are bringing their kids back. Like, it's not 10 years. That's 8 years. That's babies having babies, Spencer. You got to be better at math. Your wife is a math teacher.
Hey, Josh, where do we live?
Okay.
You're saying because people get married at 18 that they are taking their babies?
It is
I think the difference
like a 14
is
14-year-old or a 16-year-old.
Riley, who was a kid in the first one, is now an anxious teenager, like an older anxious teenager. And so Pixar wisely aged up the characters along with the audience, where they haven't always done that with their movies. And so now we're getting different emotions, and it does ring true for, honestly, having now teen daughters, essentially. It's confusing, and I would like to see a movie kind of make fun of it.
I was going to say, like, that could also be very dangerous. It really could have been Pixar's first rated R movie.
That's Teen Boys.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Yeah, my experience was way different at 16.
What was your experience at 16, Josh?
Yeah, go on, Josh.
You can't just leave us hanging.
Yeah.
Like Lefty.
I want to I want to keep this from being an E rating. So
E for everyone.
No, I mean, it's just any 90s, 80s kid growing up, like, I don't know. I just went through everything that everybody else did, I think, except special ed.
You're saying that's what made you unique?
Well, I'll just say this. Having a learning disability, right? Mm-hmm. Where it's harder for me to understand things said in parables. That's the worst way to teach a kid with that about sex. Because when you take me up the canyon to Hanson Falls and you're telling me this raging river, going through the spring runoff is like the forces going throughout your life. I have no idea what you're talking about, Dad.
Can you still make sense of it? Like now, given age and maturity, can you make sense of what he's trying to say?
Josh is sitting there thinking, so my body's like a machine. Does that mean I need to go to a mechanic now, or can I still go see the doctor?
No, seriously, like it really confused me for quite a while because my dad, I mean, it's awkward, right? Let's be honest. It's awkward, I think, for anybody to broach that topic of sex.
Absolutely, yeah.
And for my dad, like, especially now in hindsight, I totally understand. Like, that is my dad to a T. Did not like to talk about that topic because his dad was just like that as well. And so it was very awkward and very confusing.
It's really ironic that the Hansons don't like to talk about something awkward, because you can talk the ear off of anybody all day, every day about UFOs or secret government projects.
But that's not weird.
Heaven forbid you talk about sex.
That's not weird, though. I mean, I could talk about UFOs all the time, but
I like that we're like, hey, let's not get the E, but let's talk about having the talk with your kids. Listen,
hey, this time the E is going to be for educational.
Yeah, it's relevant.
I mean, so much so, like when my dad took me out for obvious. I mean, I talk about this quite a bit, but going to the Kmart cafe to go get Little Caesars pizza, pizza by the foot, actually back in the day.
Oh, I missed
that. I mean, to that point where, like, my honeymoon night, like, I'm like, okay, so what do I do now? Do I just go get Little Caesars pizza and then
you should have.
We go back to the hotel? Like, what do I do?
So when Kent gets remarried, we're gonna order some DoorDash Little Caesars for him, right?
Yeah,
Naturally.
listen, never do that because for a $7 pizza, it's going to be $32. Yeah, don't do that, please.
Do you want us to drop off personally?
You're so sweet. Listen,
we slip something a little extra in the crust for you, if you know what I mean.
Oh my gosh. My Inside Out movie, if it would be me watching, we all know the story, me watching Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, and hoping that my mom doesn't come downstairs as I'm slow motioning the naughty parts and ruining the tracking on a VHS. I don't even want to know what the voices in my head were doing at that point. Hurry, I heard a noise. Stop.
Probably eating pizza.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Notice how Spencer doesn't even want to go down that road.
I know. I'm like, Spencer, your turn.
We already talked about Josh's JCPenney trip.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, absolutely.
True.
By the way, did you buy anything?
Did I buy anything? Yes. Yeah, I actually did buy a few things. I don't know. It was actually my idea to go to JCPenney, to get some new wardrobes and everything, because I feel like, I'm in my 40s and, Costco and Walmart, it just doesn't cut it. Plus, I swear there's this problem here in Utah. And maybe this is maybe nationwide or whatever, but I've noticed that if I buy anything from Walmart or Costco, like shirt-wise, if I go to a neighborhood party or a church function or something, I am not the only one who is wearing that same shirt. Like, I've got to have some originality here. And so that's why I'll go to like the JCPenney or sometimes the Kohl's. I think Kohl's kind of gets wrapped into that Costco Walmart thing, because especially if, guys' wives are the ones picking out the wardrobes, that's where they shop. And
they travel in herds.
Exactly. So, yeah, so JCPenney, it feels mature. It feels like the right place. And plus, I kind of get these tinges of like nostalgia for malls and for department stores. I don't know if you're the same way. Like there's a certain smell to a department store.
I get it. I mean, I was at the tail end of the height of the malls in America.
The tip
by the time like I was
the tail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tip of the tail.
30 days.
I mean, by the time I was old enough to take myself to the mall, it was empty enough that we'd play hide and seek there instead of actually shop.
Oh my gosh. Stop it.
No, I'm not even kidding. Like, you can ask Chad Illum, like, we'd go to the mall and like there's 10 of us and we'd be like, okay, we're gonna limit us to like this department store.
Yeah.
Find us. And like we'd hide in like the elevators and like in between the racks, circular racks.
Oh, yeah.
And you got like a bunch of 16, 17, 18-year-olds doing this. We never got kicked out.
Okay.
Fact, the employees just didn't care. Like, they didn't care at that point. Mervin's California would be like, hey, you should check this place out and like point to where we should hide.
This is where we hide.
Yeah, like this is where we hide. Yeah.
That's what we did as kids when we had our baseball card shop at the 5 Points Mall in Bountiful. Because we would actually break into a lot of like the department stores. Like there was a Christensen's there that we would break in after hours, and we would just go run amok because they also had a basement that had some of the most random stuff. Yeah, like there were hockey sticks, there were all the Christmas decorations. We just go and play like for hours while we waited for our parents to check out the till or whatever it was.
Sure.
And it just, oh yeah, I just had this nostalgia for malls and for JCPenney's and everything. So that's kind of what brought back.
Were you by yourself, or was your wife like standing outside the dressing room, like giving the approval?
My wife came with me, and it was really funny because I'm like, we're married. You can come in the dressing room, right?
It always feels dirty though. It feels like we're breaking some rules.
Yes, and I'm like,
you're getting the side eye from that employee.
Yeah.
I'm like, trust me. I'm like, nothing is happening. And I'm like, well, because I didn't bring my blue pills to JCPenney, Spencer.
I was giving you benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
But
who needs blue pills to JCPenney?
I could sense that my wife was kind of like anxious, like we get caught. Plus, it's JCPenney. Like, if anything happened in JCPenney, it's JCPenney.
Get caught doing what? Trying
I know. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, yeah, she she went through. Yeah, we went through the whole gamut of looking for something, some new wardrobe, some new pants. It was fun.
Yeah, I don't know about you because you look new. There's something different about you, and I think you're changing a lot, and I'm just not really comfortable with it. You shaved your beard, which isn't all that uncommon because for the most of the time that I've known you, you've been beardless.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just been the past few months you've just kind of let it all go. What's going on?
I mean, this is the first time I've seen him without a beard and a full head of hair.
Yeah.
I haven't shaved the past 5 months. And I only went down to the stubble because I'm like, I have to have something. But like, I'm afraid to like go outside in the sun because I'm like, I'm gonna burn if I'm out in 5 minutes, and my whole like lower face is just gonna
vampire, Josh.
I mean,
the only thing you drink is juice boxes. Like you're not gonna burn.
I don't know, man. But it's just it feels different. And like, I'm gonna probably grow my beard out a little bit more. It's just the problem is I just know, especially after doing this for 5 months, us Hansons, or a good portion of us Hansons, because my older brother Ben can pull off a pretty good beard, but most of us cannot pull one off. And especially myself and my little brother Luke, it's patchy, it's curly. It just, I'm just surprised whenever I go to downtown Salt Lake that people throwing, money at me. Because it just looked, it looks bad, and so that's kind of why I shaved it down. So
I'll be honest, Josh, it probably wasn't the beard. It was probably the fact that you haven't combed your hair since you started letting it grow out.
True. I love it. I love.
I think it's a good look. Yeah.
Especially when I go running, I love to see like how wild I can get it, because I look like a Muppet sometimes. Kind of going back to the Muppet. Yeah,
you do. Which is fine. Like it's like you're trying to figure out, are you a man or a Muppet, and you're on that cusp.
Somewhere between.
So, but am I a man or am I a Muppet? I don't know yet. I don't know. But no. So anyway, it's been kind of fun. Like, just kind of, I really do feel like a different person just because I have so much more energy.
Because you shaved your beard?
Well, no, the weight. But yes, the beard. I'm sure that I can run faster with the beard gone.
More aerodynamic, obviously.
It's like new shoes. Like, you run faster with no beard.
Oh, man. Could you imagine how fast I'd be if I got new shoes?
Do we need to get you new shoes? How old are your shoes?
The signature shoes?
I do actually have some gift certificates for the Salt Lake Running Company that I need to go get.
Okay, get on it.
So yeah. Man, I'll be like Usain Bolt.
I can see Josh running across like the elementary school field by his house. You're like, look how fast I am, Marianne. Look, you missed it.
Time me, come on.
There's like 5 kindergartners chasing you.
And they're keeping up.
Yeah. Or going faster than me.
Or you beat them and you rub it in their face.
But
no big deal.
So it's been fun. I kind of now want to go find a Shopko so that I can, really.
A Shopko?
Mm-hmm. Are there any Shopkos in Utah anymore?
None in Utah, but I wonder if there's any nationally.
I'm sure there are.
I don't think so. I think it's gone the way of Kmart altogether.
Yeah, I mean, Kmart, rightfully so, should have died decades ago. Let's be honest. But Shopko.
By the way, blast from the past. I heard that Pizza Hut is bringing back the buffet.
Are they
really?
Yeah, I maybe it's like a Instagram reel because that's what I watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw something. I'm like, wait, is this coming back? Are they trying to compete for our fast food dollar? Like, what's going on here?
The question though is, are they bringing back the Red Hut buildings? Because
they would need to, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean they'd have to, because if you're going to bring back,
they're just facades at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, actually, the buffet that really needs to come back is the Wendy's buffet.
Wendy's the salad bar?
Yeah, do you remember the salad bar?
It was just a salad bar. It wasn't a buffet.
No. They had salad. They had the best chocolate pudding in the world.
Yeah,
hold on.
Still a salad bar. That is not a buffet.
It's a buffet.
Like if it was a Wendy's buffet, if it was a Wendy's buffet, they'd have steamed buns and patties out.
Are you guys gaslighting me? Is this like the Mandela's Streisand effect where That's a thing now. Where Wendy's had a buffet. I don't remember this.
It wasn't a buffet. It was a salad bar. And it was called like the Power Bar.
No, and they had chili.
Okay.
They had the baked potato. Like you could get you could put your toppings of the baked potato on there.
Wait, so people would go, they'd order a potato and an extra plate, salad, and they're like,
or the salad bar. Yeah.
Was it well kept?
And then you could go sit in the little sunroom.
I remember the sunrooms. I'm
more nostalgic for the Wendy's sunrooms than I am the Pizza Hut Red Roofs. Which, man. By the way, that is a really fun road trip game. If you're ever driving through small towns, is to find the old Pizza Hut buildings and see what they are now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love playing that anywhere. Like, or guessing what did this Rancheritos used to be?
Well, based on the roof, it was a Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Betos and Rancheritos. What did this used to be?
Or in Bountiful, there is a former Sizzler as of like 2 years ago, and now it's a like Thai one restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I walked inside; they still have the salad bar set up.
Hey,
with no salad.
Betos and Rancheritos, is that like the Spirit Halloween shop of fast food places?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: no one goes. There's this place in Salt Lake. It's on the benches up on the east, and it used to be called a Hector's. If anyone knows it, it was like Betos but delicious. And that sounds weird, but it was like really quality food. Mm-hmm. And there was always a huge line. It was like Nielsen's frozen custard. There were always people eating inside and in line, and they went out of business because they weren't getting enough business. And I'm like, okay. And now it's a Betos. And I've driven by a few times just kind of being like, I will remember you. And thank you, Josh. And there's maybe a car in the drive-thru. I'm like, how does Betos stay in business? It is Spirit Halloween. It's money laundering or something going on.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because how did Hector's go down and Betos is staying up?
Money laundering. Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't come after me, Betos Mafia. But like,
I wouldn't be shocked if there really was like a Betos Mafia.
Yeah, I'm just going to back away. Betos Cartel.
Yeah. What do you think comes from for Rancheritos?
Yeah. Do you think there's like warlords? Do you think Roll Betos and Gualbertos are different families?
Oh, they've got to be. Or brothers.
No, I'm pretty sure that Rancheritos and Betos was at some point like it's like the they were one, and now it's like House of Dragons, but Mexican food.
It's kind of like Crown Burger, Burger Supreme, Apollo Burger.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have some gang wars going on here in Utah.
The burgers, I mean, that's the Greek mafia right there.
Right.
And then Rancheritos and that's the Mexican warlords. And I don't know. What about the Italian mobs?
This is really the fast casual wars of Utah.
Uh-huh.
Fast casual wars.
And then there's Robintinos who tried to, but they tried too hard, and
no, Robintinos only had like one location.
No, yeah, they had 2 locations. They had 2 locations. They had one. I think the second one used to be over by Big Cottonwood.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You sure about that?
I do know that there were 2 locations for the. Sorry, this is really regional, but in Bountiful, the Mexican place.
El Matador.
El Matador. There's one in Ogden as well, and those were competing families.
Ugh.
Like family members.
Can you imagine like the family reunions for those?
Yeah.
Like, do they all show up with like the same spread and like the potato, like the potato sack races? It's kind of like my family reunions with like my dad's side, where everybody has their world famous baked beans, and you're like, what are you talking about? Famous with who?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure these are just Bush's baked beans with items removed. You didn't even add anything to it.
They're spooning out the good bits.
Yeah.
So
the secret recipe is baked beans, but you pull the beans out and replace it with pineapple.
See, that's the Mormon mafia right there.
Oh, yeah. I think, and like, look, that's like small scale. That's like, if we're talking fast food, that's like stuff that we're not seeing. I think we really do see like Crumble and Crave and Twisted Sugar, all those cookie places, the cookie wars, right?
Ooh,
I mean, that's
Crumble's
pretty
like
prominent.
Now, like trying to get in on the other dessert turf, like they're doing cakes and stuff now.
What? Oh, so they're gonna do cakes really mediocre now? Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to horn in on the Costco market, the sheet cake.
You do not mess with Costco.
No,
I mean even Dick Kent is aware.
Listen. I don't know what I did to upset you, Spencer, but
nothing. It just felt more appropriate to say that.
I thought that we established it on the other show that the D in Kenny D stood for Dick.
No, Dick Kent sounds a lot more appropriate to say than Kent Dick.
Yeah, but it sounds like this is our couple name, Dick Kent.
Richard Kent.
And this might be what gives us the E.
Yeah, now finally, we deserved it.
Hey, we're going to give you a new DJ name, one that can be resurrected. You're Richard Kent.
Oh, I got a segue. Speaking of E, have you guys heard of Tube E? Tube E?
Yeah, Tube E or not Tube E.
I'm going to end the show now.
No, Josh, you can't. Josh, have you heard of Tubi?
Isn't it? It's a streaming service.
It is.
Okay.
So you can find it on any sort of like Roku or Fire Stick or whatever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's a streaming service. It's free. And it's long been seen as a joke. Like, if it ever trends, it's because people are like, oh my gosh, look what random movie I found on Tubi. Because it has, honestly, some really high quality scary movies, some surprising action movies, and then stuff that you maybe saw in 1989 at 2 a.m. And that movie exists on Tubi. Like, it's the strangest stuff. Like, Plex users are probably loving Tubi because it just has the most vague stuff that shouldn't exist anymore. Honestly, it's kind of like the Hollywood Video of streaming services.
Oh. Honestly, it's what Netflix used to be.
Yeah, truly. And so it's been a joke forever. And I think they did have a Super Bowl ad, or I forget if that was them or not.
Do you remember when they first launched their gimmick was they did their content in vertical mode?
Yes.
What?
No, that was QB. That was QB.
That was QB, not Tubi.
Yeah, and QB died really quickly because they tried to launch their own series.
QB.
I know, right? Yeah, Tubi or not QB.
Oh gosh.
So here's the thing. So a lot of people are getting really tired of streaming services. We've talked about this before, where it's like, I think we even have Disney Plus, obviously pairing with Hulu, and possibly pairing that with Max. And then you have Netflix that may join in with Peacock and Apple. So like all these ones they're joining, and everyone's like, so cable, okay, thanks. But as of last week, Tubi has a higher viewership than Disney Plus, Peacock, Max, and Paramount Plus. Tubi.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it free?
It's free. It is free.
Ad supported.
But so are the other services. You're paying $10, $13 for Amazon with commercials. Mm-hmm. And they have like 2 shows that are mediocre.
For Hulu Live.
Oh, absolutely, right?
But that does get me Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN.
But I mean, it's going to be charging more and more every month. But I am kind of loving that Tubi's having so much success. I hope it doesn't go to their heads and they try to start charging. I don't use it very much, but I think I'm going to start. And they're now going to start producing their own shows because I guess they're just making money, even though it's a free streaming service. So respect.
YouTube started
signing up right now
for Tubi. You really are?
Wow.
Well, when you say wow,
engaging content ever, like
I'm just like
to Josh sign up for things.
Yeah, enter your email here. I got to go to my email and approve it.
Ooh, they have Rush Hour.
Yeah,
and The Patriot.
Love Patriot. Wait, The Patriot with Steven Seagal or Mel Gibson?
Mel Gibson, of course.
Yes.
Okay, phew.
Yeah, I do have taste. Predator.
See?
Ooh, Space Jam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's what. Remember when Netflix had everything? Everything.
Mm-hmm.
And now Netflix has their own content stuff, but Tubi feels that way.
Oh, wow. Okay, my life just changed, man.
Oh, go on. What's the first movie you're going to watch?
Probably
Space Jam.
Meet Joe Black.
Oh.
Really? I would have thought Space Jam.
Because, kind of how you had the same problem with, your movies growing up, with the VHSs.
Yeah.
Mine was in Meet Joe Black when Brad Pitt got hit by the car. I would
you kept watching that?
I would rewind and fast forward that part all the time.
It is one of the biggest shocking moments in cinema because it's such a sweet thing when they're looking back and it's so romantic.
And then it's funny, like real fast.
It's so funny.
Because the way he flies, man, nobody can get that kind of air. Nobody.
Blonde Brad Pitt can.
Tubi.
Yep. Yeah, you can on Tubi. I think that's their tagline. You can on Tubi.
They have some really good movies.
Okay, what else do you see?
Sister Act. They have. I'm
just dying because I want to know what Josh's what you think good movies are.
Well,
what draws Josh in?
They have all Rush Hour movies actually. Now I can confirm. I can confirm that. There's also What About Bob and the other guys. They have the newest Annie, the one with.
Everyone wants to watch that one with Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Wait, is that the newest one? I thought they did a newer one.
Dances with Wolves. Oh man, that is like the best Saturday movie.
Hey guys, did you know Dances with Wolves is a good movie?
Here's what I'm saying is we hear these movies, we hear you say these movie titles, we're like, oh yeah, why would you want to watch Sister Act? But that's the thing. Remember Friday nights?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd be like, yeah, we got a pizza. We need some movie. I don't know what I feel like. I need to go to Blockbuster to get it. Okay, you go to Blockbuster, you walk down the aisles, and you're like looking at the shelves, and someone's like, do you want to get Ghoulies? Right? Or do you want to get like some Jaws 3D? And you're like, you know what? I do feel like that. And that's what the Blockbuster experience gave. And I think that's what Tubi might also provide is I haven't thought about this movie in 27 years. I'm going to watch it.
It's not getting the whole Blockbuster experience of having to call somebody's parent to get permission to rent Mean Girls because it's PG-13.
Wow.
That was your experience.
They even basically have their own version of Hallmark Christmas movies. Like they have a whole section.
I can't even imagine. Okay, what are some of the titles?
A Christmas Show. Naughty or Nice. I don't know, actually. I don't know. Christmas Angel. A Cape Cod Christmas. A Kiss on Candy Lane.
These are just generic enough
My
that they could
Santa.
be costumes at Spirit Halloween.
Christmas on the Bayou.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Smith, if you're listening.
Listen,
there you go.
Is Beto's and is also Tubi Spirit Halloween of their particular industry?
I don't know. This is better than Spirit.
I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks are like the Spirit Halloween of a different industry. Like, what is the Spirit Halloween of like grocery stores?
Of grocery stores?
Yeah.
Maybe Reams.
Is it Ocean Mart?
Reams?
No, it's a
a
gym. It's EOS Fitness for sure.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No, either EOS or Planet Fitness.
Yeah. It's definitely like, oh, you're leaving and you guys are too small for Spirit Halloween, maybe? We'll put a gym in it.
Yeah.
That's true because of Vasa and Layton. Have you guys been to that one?
No.
That one legit used to be in Albertsons. So when I go there, I can point out like, oh yeah, the swimming pool, that was the refrigerated section. And you can like see
That's
where
funny.
Do they still have the salad bar?
No, but they have the sunroom.
Yeah, I love how on this show we're talking about basically dead things.
I know.
It's Halloween on Christmas.
The far corners.
Yeah, we're hitting every holiday, man. No, this really changed my life. So thank you.
Yeah, tell me you're gonna have to report what shows you watch. What, Spencer? Okay. What's the dead thing?
And Joel sent me down a rabbit hole.
Okay.
Where I watched that 4-hour documentary.
Oh yeah.
Report on the Disneyland Star Wars Hotel.
Yes.
Which then. Okay.
So to give some background real quick, because we talked about this on a Pick and Bit, but there is there's a mostly Star Wars content YouTuber. Her name is Jenny Nicholson, and she's a dork. She vlogs. It's not high quality stuff, but she sits in her bedroom and she has like a stuffed Grogu in the back and others, nerdy stuff. And she just talks to the camera, and we'll talk about Star Wars love and obviously of the original trilogy and prequels and whatnot. Well, she took some time off of YouTube, and I don't know when she started this video series, but she recently put out a 4-hour production of, like, I'm not going to say an expose, but it's kind of a detailing of the Galaxy Star Cruiser, which is the Star Wars hotel. Mm-hmm. And she went with her sister. And she is a hardcore fan and talks about every single facet of this and has footage and she comes at this from like, I'm a fan. Oh my gosh, this was the worst thing ever. It was
totally
just a huge flop.
$6,000.
Right.
And you justify that price.
So Spencer, is 4 hours long. Were you captivated the whole time?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Every time I got in my car, like, it's one of those ones you don't have to watch. You can just listen to as she goes through it. I mean, it's worth watching, but yeah. But I won't talk about that one because what drew me in after that was Evermore. She did a 3-hour same thing takedown of what happened with Evermore.
I haven't seen it. It's kind of funny that she went to Evermore because she's not Utah based. I think she's California based. Yeah. Did she say why she went to Evermore? Did she just kind of like, it's like a Ren Fair sort of concept?
Well, is that why? Somebody told her that her whole shtick is she goes to themed places, themed hotels, themed events. So that's why the Star Wars Hotel, like, it's themed.
Yeah.
Somebody sent her Evermore, and she's like, "Oh, it's a themed amusement park or theme park in Utah that nobody's really ever heard of. I'm gonna go check it out." And it was really interesting to watch because she breaks down like the history of it, like when it got announced and stuff like that, who funded it and where the money came from. And it's interesting to be like, oh yeah, I remember when they announced it and they said it was going to be like a choose your own adventure, and it was going to be a theme park with
the next
rides,
lagoon,
like the next lagoon.
Right.
Which honestly, Lagoon needs some competition.
Oh, I would love if
$97 to go to Lagoon.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah. But then she talks about how it kept running into like hurdles, like with the it's in Pleasant Grove, right?
Yes.
The hurdles they ran into with Pleasant Grove, they're like, no, we're a small community. We don't want rides. We don't want you to break up our view. So they couldn't be a theme park anymore. They had to be a botanical garden, right? And what's interesting is as she's talking about this, it's still open at the time she made this video. And since then, it's closed down.
Yeah.
Like, they never finished building the park. It was under construction constantly. They ran out of money. Of the 18 buildings on the site, only 5 of them were ever opened.
Wow.
You know, okay. Change concepts annually. Like, we're going to be a choose your own adventure park. We're not going to do this. We're going to have stories. We're not going to have stories. You're going to pay extra for the stories. Like, they never settled on an identity, and everything was half done the entire time they were there.
Yeah.
Like, they had this fountain that was supposed to be like dancing water fountains that a magician could do. They didn't winterize it in Utah. They didn't winterize the fountains. So the pipes broke and they had to close it.
Yep.
So like, it's just constant like failures and things like that.
Did you ever go to Evermore?
No, I never went because one of the issues I think was in the marketing. Like they marketed it as this Ren Fair, and I'm like, that's not my cup of tea. I don't want to cosplay and go to a Ren Fair. And
I went over Halloween once and it was packed.
Yeah.
Because they did a pretty good job of making, because it's all medieval based, and most people there, like I will say drama kids who love steampunk, they were all about it. There's archery going on and some sword fighting and a bunch, it kind of like flea market. Like it really did feel like an unfinished thing. They did have a couple haunted houses in the buildings. They were kind of like mediocre, but at the same time, I'm like, I liked how it felt cool, like it felt unique, but it didn't feel like it was worth the money at the same time. And I'm kind of sad that they didn't really hit maybe the potential they were hoping for.
Well, and this is an interesting thing. I'm going to move away from this report and talking to since this has come out, the park is officially closed.
Okay,
Brett Buckner or whatever, who funded the whole thing, has sold it. And one of the buyers is Brendan Fugel. Do you know who that is?
Sounds really familiar.
So his name is up and down the Wasatch Front on buildings. He's a commercial real estate developer. He's the owner of Skinwalker Ranch.
Okay.
So he's behind all of that. He's a huge nerd. So he purchased it with an anonymous investor. We don't know who the investor is yet.
Batman.
But they're...
Bruce Wayne.
There are signs. There's subtle signs of who it could be.
Batman.
Okay, and I know KP Brown and I have talked about this extensively. Same with Dave Kelly. Because
is it Ryan Smith? Are we going to get a really bland rebrand of
Utah black and white?
Yeah.
But if you look at the outside of who bought all the property in the fields surrounding Evermore Park, it's owned by Dragon Steel Entertainment. And if you know who Dragon Steel Entertainment is, do you know who that is, Kent?
Nope.
It is
Sanderson?
somebody who probably... It's Brandon Sanderson.
Oh. I feel like people in Pleasant Grove would allow something big to be built based on the notoriety of Brandon Sanderson. It's a guess.
Like, here's the thing is, Tech Bro from outside of Utah County comes in and says, I'm going to build a big theme park here. They're going to fight against that. But Brandon Sanderson, who lives in Pleasant Grove, has made Pleasant Grove his home for years, is basically a native son, even though he's not from Utah.
Yeah.
He sheepishly says, hey, I'd like to build a Cosmere themed park here. They're going to bend over backwards.
I mean, what else do they have going on in Pleasant Grove?
The Purple Turtle.
There's a reason why Pleasant Grove High School has the highest teenage pregnancy rate in the state of Utah. There's nothing going on.
They do have a Chubby's, right? The burger place. The burger place.
Phrasing, Kent.
I'm like, that's not helping the pregnancy rate at all. At all.
I said plural.
Yeah, highest, Kent, not singular. Highest pregnancy rate.
So, see, I worry for Brandon Sanderson, though, because if you sink money into something that's already seen as a failure, like, can the public be swayed in order, or is he just going for a national audience? Like, hey, if you're a big fan of Cosmere, come to Utah.
The people that are going to come aren't going to be people from Utah. It's going to be, he's broken 2 Kickstarter records.
Yeah, that's true.
Backer Kit, he completely destroyed their website when he put something on the Backer Kit.
Yeah.
Like the audience is there. And here's the thing with Brandon Sanderson. He's not going to do anything until he can actually pay for it all up front. That's been his philosophy with everything. So
we may actually get an Evermore that's legit.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay. This is how he does it. He makes it into a TV reality show and he puts it on Tubi. And you can watch it alongside such great reality shows as Little Women of Atlanta, which apparently is a bunch of dwarfs in Atlanta that is a reality show. There's Divorce
So it is
Court.
like the Real Housewives.
Yeah, there's Atlanta. Wife Swap, not just Wife Swap, but Wife Swap Australia. That might interest you, Kent.
So Tuesday.
Yeah, there's Idiot, How Not to Live TV.
What?
So yeah, I'm just saying, make it into a reality show. They have plenty of Hoarders series.
So here's what I love. Spencer's telling us about this maybe possibly cool development coming, maybe within 2 years, and you're adding to your watch list.
I am. I'm adding them as we speak right now. Like, ooh.
I want a full report on Little Women of Atlanta, please.
I do too.
Yeah, it'll be short.
Nice
okay,
pun.
well, Spencer, that excites me. Hopefully we hear more about this because I like your rumors, I like your theories, and let's see. But we do have a phone call to get to.
Hey guys, it's Terry Finlay calling. I just wanted to call to back Josh up on the creamy coconut Dr. Pepper. There might be a short supply because I probably have 10 of those 12 packs at my house right now. We're kind of stockpiling them because we have a cruise coming up and there's no Dr. Pepper on the cruise ship. So we're going to take the coconut cream Dr. Pepper on the cruise ship. And while we were on this cruise, we were actually going to try to go to the Dr. Pepper Museum. And while we were there, Josh, we will make sure our voices are heard that this flavor needs to become a permanent flavor. Because this flavor is so good that Annika's friend, who does not drink soda and does not drink carbonation, will drink this, and he actually really likes it. Kind of feels guilty when he drinks it because he hasn't had carbonation in a long time, and he really enjoys it. He kind of has to let it go flat a little bit, but it's an amazing flavor, and I agree 100% it needs to become permanent. So thanks, guys. Keep doing what you're doing.
Terry, when you go to the Dr. Pepper Museum, make sure you handcuff yourself to the front door until your demands are met, that this is a permanent flavor.
So you want her to become a terrorist?
I mean, it's in part of her name. So
yeah, I was gonna say it's Terry.
It's the Terrioist.
Okay. Oh man.
Aside from the Dr. Pepper stuff, let's hold up. Annika's quote unquote friend.
Listen, we'll leave that up to Annika to tell us or not, right? We don't want to hear from her mom. We need to hear from Annika.
Your pod dads are here.
Yeah,
pod uncles.
Here to listen.
Pod uncles.
It's been a while since we've got an update. I think everyone here and everyone listening is very invested in Annika and her life. And it's been a minute since
she
called
did
Annika.
graduate.
Yeah.
We didn't even get a graduation update. Like,
wow.
I got an announcement. It was on my fridge.
Rude.
So we need
Annika. Hurry.
Family doesn't do this to family, Annika. Like, we need an update.
All right.
Oh my gosh, guys! They have Master Chef on Tubi.
Okay.
That is what I am watching.
Josh,
that's what I'm watching right now. I know, gladly, because I need to start watching Master Chef. You've just listened to The Other Show, starring Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. The Other Show is produced by Kent Dunn, Josh Hansen, and Spencer Myers. Show design and audio editing is done by me, Josh Hansen, and sales manager is Spencer Myers. The Other Show is generously supported by our friends on Patreon. A huge thank you to our Friends with Benefits tier. These friends are contributing a minimum of $25 a month, which in return comes with some rather significant benefits, including the weekly off-the-cuff episodes of The Other Show, monthly bonus episodes, quarterly live Q&A shows, and exclusive swag and perks. A huge thank you to our favorite Brit, Jonathan Vaskar, the lovely and talented Mrs. Robinson, the one, the only Chris Anderson, Brandon from Popfly Cards, Lady Terry A. Finley, the proud Disney mom, Tanya Budge, the other Keith Brown, it's Rick, not Dick, Smith, Dave, and of course, our newest friend with benefits, Melanie Milring. To support The Other Show on Patreon, visit patreon.com/The Other Show to join. Please rate, review, and subscribe to The Other Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, or wherever podcasts are found. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. To better connect with us and other fans of The Other Show, join our Facebook group, The Other Group. For past episodes, links to our other shows, and to shop for show swag, visit our website at theother.show. And remember, when you're not listening to me here on The Other Show, you can hear me on my other show, The Party in the Back.
You can hear me on my other show, Bacon Cell.
And you can find me trying to get Josh to stop watching Tubi.